Hello, hello. Hope y'all ain't passed around that piece of paper. When the professor is 15 minutes late, I hope y'all haven't passed that around yet. Because I'm here. I am here. Hope y'all haven't passed the paper around yet. Because I'm here. I'm a little behind, but I'm here. Hello. Hey. Hello. I'm running late, but I'm here. Oh, y'all are here. Oh, shoot. Y'all in here. Hey. I'm running a little late, but I'm here. Had a little hair catastrophe today, y'all. I started to braid my hair. I mean, take a pack of hair, braid my hair. I got 3 braids. Took me an hour to do 3 braids. And then the parts were all messed up. The amount of hair I had in there was messed up. And so I had to wash my hair before the show because I had gel. Just this whole section was just gelled. It was not happy. And I thought, oh, okay, well, I just washed it yesterday. So I could just do a regular shampoo right here, a little shampoo, because I did put edge control on the parts or whatever and wash that and it'll be fine. This needed to be shampooed twice. So I ended up running a little bit behind today, but we here. So I'm glad y'all are here. I'm glad y'all are here. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. I'm going to give it a few more minutes. I like to always give it about 3 to 5 minutes. Well, usually I give it 5 minutes, but we might just do 3 today. We are finishing chapter 5 today. We are finishing chapter 5 today. Welcome in. Welcome in. Y'all in here. What's up? What's up? Hey, y'all. Y'all are up in here today. Mm. I got this mug when I was in college, and I can actually read the music on it. Hold on, if y'all can see it. I can read the music that's on it, and it's my favorite. It's one of my favorite mugs. I got it from Sisters on Tate Street years and years ago. It's like my favorite mug. Had made me some coffee today. Ooh, was anybody else in a foul mood today? I don't know what is going on in the planets. I'm sure the astrology girls can tell me what's going on, but I was in a foul ass, like, I mean, I felt like a child throwing a temper tantrum today. I got told today where I'm normally told, oh, I like your attitude, it's cute. I got told today, hey, let's reel it back in. Woo, today was a hard one. It was a hard one. Something's going on. I don't know what's going on with Mars or whatever. And Mercury should be going in retrograde soon. So I don't know if somebody can find me the date on that. I think we are upon that mess, that hot ass mess. I see. Yeah. It was not. Oh well, I'm glad that you had a great day, Sarante. Maybe it was just the women folk. I don't know. I don't know. It might just be because of my Mars placement, but I'm glad you had a great day. Um, yeah. Ooh, because y'all know Thursdays be shaky for me. Thursdays, I might not make it on Thursday, but we didn't finish the chapter, so we're gonna finish the chapter today. All right, so it's been enough time. Let's go ahead and get right in. Welcome to Reading with Miss Taylor Said. I am Taylor. I am Miss Taylor Said. And what's up? Welcome to Reading with Miss Taylor Said. I am Taylor, also known as Miss Taylor Said. And I created this show on November 30th, 2020, in an effort to accomplish a few goals of mine. One of those goals being getting more comfortable with reading aloud in front of an audience. Um, me too. I got that mixed up. So I'm going to start with the first real goal. The first real goal um, is to complete the books I have in my possession. I own a lot of books. I've acquired a lot of books over the years, but I don't finish them. I'll start them and I won't finish them, or I won't start them at all. And, I want to actually read the books that I have because I got them for a reason. So I am reading them to y'all. And that way we can read my books together. Take a look. It's in a book. And y'all know what the name of the show is. The second goal that I wanted to accomplish was to actually get more comfortable reading aloud in front of an audience. Um, because the things that I want to do with my career and my purpose and my abundant life, as we've been talking about, will include me reading off of a teleprompter. And I want to do things where I'll have to read off of a teleprompter one day. So I want to get more comfortable with reading aloud in front of an audience and being able to do it on cue and sound coherent and comprehensive and all those things while I'm reading. So that's another goal of mine. And the third goal that I want to accomplish with this show is getting more comfortable with public speaking. I've been public speaking since I was a teenager. I literally have an award in public speaking from high school. And I used to perform poetry and speak and then host things and speak in front of people. And I don't do that anymore. It's been years since I've been able to do it. So I want to get back into doing it. And 2020 gave me the opportunity to do it virtually. So I thank you all for being here. We are reading Abundance Now by Lisa Nichols, co-authored by Janet Switzer, and we are in chapter 5. We are in chapter 5. I always have to go back to that chapter where she talks about the 4 E's. We are in the fourth E of the 4 E's to create an abundant life. Yes, here we go. The 4 E's on your path to an abundant future. The first E was enrichment. Oh, and welcome to Reading with MissTaylorSaid. Um, the first E is enrichment. So that's helping you develop your full self into a focused and abundant thinker. So the self-development. The second E is enchantment. That's connecting with others and developing relationships that will support you in success. Relationships. The third E is the thrill of engagement that comes from pursuing work, whether it's employment or your own business, that leads to exciting experiences or ably bankrolls whatever it is that you want to do. And the fourth E is endowment. And that is seeing money as an endowment that grows and continues to fund the kind of breathtaking lifestyle that few can imagine, the breathtaking lifestyle that you want to have. So right now we are in the fourth E, which is in the endowment. This week has actually been a pretty rough week. We started this chapter on Monday, and the first day everybody was in the comments and they were super freaking uncomfortable because because a lot of us come from humble backgrounds, to put it nicely. A lot of us come from humble backgrounds. We don't come from, a lot of money. And so talking about money and the way we deal with it is really freaking uncomfortable. One episode this week, I actually cried. I actually cried on camera. It was uncomfortable. And, we're still talking about it. Yesterday, we were in the middle of our financial assessment. So if you didn't see yesterday's episode, that's okay. You can participate tonight and then go back to yesterday's episode. If you're watching on IGTV, on Instagram Live, I'm sorry, it's on my IGTV. If you're watching on Facebook, it's on Miss Taylor Said, the Facebook page. If you're new altogether and you haven't seen any of the episodes, stick around tonight. It's okay. You're not getting, nothing's being spoiled because it's very lesson based. Stick around tonight, hang out, and then you can go back to, you can actually go to twitter.com/MissTaylorSaid and catch the first couple weeks, the first 2 weeks of the show, and then everything else is on IGTV or the Miss Taylor Said Facebook. And the tweet that has the thread is pinned right there at the top. So you will see my pictures, you'll see my bio. For those that don't use Twitter, because I know there's a few of y'all in here, you'll see my bio, and then you'll see that first tweet. And then if you click on it, you'll be able to see all the videos. They'll drop all the way down. So we got it. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and review the questions, the first questions on in this assessment. We're rating ourselves on a scale of 1 to 10 of how we handle each scenario that she's giving us. Now, again, watch the episode from yesterday to see the descriptions, but I'm just going to go ahead and go into it. The first question is, I have a clear written working business plan or personal life plan. Rate your scale on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being, oops, I haven't done a plan yet. 10 means got it handled and I follow it. Don't judge yourself. Be completely honest. The second one, I use a financial tracking system such as QuickBooks for my business or Quicken Mint online for my personal finances. Giving yourself a 1 means I don't balance my checkbook now or I don't even know what's going on, while 10 means I look at my financials every month, balance my checkbook every month, and know the week by week specifics of my financial life. The third question, I have and follow clear financial goals daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly. So 1 means I don't have any, while 10 means you bet I've got my goals written down, they are realistic, and I have a written plan on how to achieve them. And then the fourth question, if y'all write this down, the fourth question is I know how much money I need to save and invest to achieve financial abundance. A 1 for that means, let's see. So a 1, she said, if you haven't determined your financial abundance goal, that amount of invested capital you need to support your dream lifestyle, you're at a 1 on our rating scale. If your goal is so vague that your only dream is to pay rent this month, you're also at a 1. Scoring 10 on the rating scale, on the other hand, means you have financial goals. They're measurable and you know the milestones you must reach to amass your financial abundance fund. A 10 means I've got a plan and I'm working on it. Question 5 is I know my monthly budget and I stick to it. A 1 means you do, and let's see, what did she say? Here, a score of 10 means yes, 5 means sometimes, and 1 means no, never. Okay. And then the last question we left off on was I track my productivity and either raise my prices based on my ability to produce or have asked for a promotion and raise, you're good, girl. Or ask for a promotion or raise at work based on my increased skill set and high productivity. A 1 means not very well. The question she asked was, how well are you tracking your productivity and value to others, constantly improving it and quantifying those results, and then communicating this improvement to your customers, employer, or other people who are partners in your financial success? If the answer is not very well or wow, that seems really egotistical, give yourself a 1 on our rating scale. A 10 means I'm avidly measuring my success and talking to whomever I need to in order to improve my financial picture. Okay? So let's get on into it. Question 7. We're still doing this assessment. The assessment's not over yet. Question 7. I am comfortable with the amount of debt I have. Do you know month to month whether you can manage your debt or does your debt manage you? Does your level of debt cause you to make financial decisions that would make differently, that would have that would be made differently or benefit you greater if that debt didn't exist? While a lot of people say I'm comfortable with my debt, what they really mean is I make the minimum payment every month, so my debt is easy to manage and doesn't impact me. These people are making the minimum payments because they can't afford to pay more. If this describes your comfort level, you actually have too much debt, and it's likely to become an unconscious burden weighing you down as you try to build your financial future. Of course, this question may not apply to you. You may have no consumer debt at all, or you may pay your credit card balance in full every month. And if you're the cash and carry type who doesn't buy until you have the money to do it with, great job. You are managing your debt appropriately. Plus, not all debt is bad. With the right kind of debt, you can buy a home or fund your education. Plus, you need a certain amount of manageable debt repayment to establish good credit. If you're confident that you use debt appropriately, that you've limited your debt to specific purchases, and that you're on track to pay off the debt in a timely way, give yourself a 10 on our rating scale. If, however, your debt is out of control with no end in sight, or worse, if it's impacting the financial decisions you make about your future, give yourself a 5 or lower. Question 8. I carry no high interest debt. Using high interest credit cards to make purchases, then carrying a balance on those cards from month to month will keep you in a cycle of amazing discomfort. Look at the interest rate you're paying on each of your credit cards. Then look at the number of cards you have and use every month. Decide what you need to do to eventually eliminate that high interest debt and manage your credit card balance every month, including using debit cards in the future. Not only will it give you greater peace of mind, but you'll also be on the road to financial freedom much sooner. Yeah, APR is wild. If you carry no interest debt or you comfortably pay your credit cards every month, give yourself a 10 on the rating scale. If you need to pay off and eliminate those cards, give yourself a 1. I ain't gonna flex, y'all. I ain't gonna flex. I'm ones all across the board. But this is why we're here. We're learning. We're learning. Question 9. I understand the difference between good debt and bad debt. The first time I came across this question in our assessment, my answer was 1. Frankly, I had no idea there was a difference in the quality of debt, and it never occurred to me that debt could be bad. Like many people, debt was just a reality. Debt meant that I could purchase things that I couldn't pay for yet. Eventually, I learned the difference. Good debt is anything that's going to pull you forward in your next financial bracket. A home mortgage that lets you buy a house and benefit from growth and equity over the years is one example. If you created a product that costs $10,000 to produce but will earn you $100,000 in revenue, borrowing to pay manufacturing costs would be another example of good debt. And bringing in smart investors to help fund the growth of your company, as I did, is yet another example of good debt that's designed to build something of value or bring useful products and services to the world. Bad debt, on the other hand, is using that credit card in your purse on which you already owe $10,000 for things you can't recall buying or doing. For now, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being yes, I know the difference and I only use good debt. All right, so question 10. Welcome in. If you're joining us for the first time, we are reading Lisa Nichols' Abundance Now. We are reading Lisa Nichols' Abundance Now. I know the dollar amount needed to meet my monthly budget, and I've got a community that helps me achieve that. Does it ever seem like the more you make, the more you spend, and the less you have left over? You might have some help in creating this problem from your family, employees, and friends. If your spending is out of control and the people you've surrounded yourself with are sabotaging your financial future, rate yourself between 1 and 10 on this assessment question. The reality is that following a budget that lists your minimum monthly expenses, but also includes your savings, retirement investments, debt reduction, and other contributions to your personal financial goals, plus a little extra for rewards and celebrations, is virtually the only way to become financially abundant. In fact, when I do this, something magical happens. I actually hit those numbers and attain those goals. In addition, a budget gives you an income target, the amount you must earn to meet your goals. Not only is it imperative for self-employed people, it's a good exercise for anyone. If you don't make enough to meet those necessary items listed in your budget, you'd be less likely to spend on non-budgeted impulse items that don't contribute to your future. Of course, the people around us can support or hinder us in meeting our goals. In fact, our community members not only set up our mindset by imposing their own belief systems on us, but their prosperity or lack of it, um, also becomes something we tend to mirror over time. Our lives tend to imitate the people we hang out with the most, both in our beliefs and in our income level. Surround yourself with powerful people who inspire you to achieve significant financial goals, whether it's earning a substantially greater income, becoming 100% debt free, or building your company through an impressive new revenue source. Who's in your circle of influence? What energy are they surrounding you with? If you're the big fish in a little pond, there won't be a lot of people challenging and motivating you. And If they all earn significantly less than you do or frequently have money problems themselves, why would you want their financial influence in your life? In the same way, our immediate family can affect how we spend and invest money. If your spouse and children disregard the household budget or aren't on board with paying down debt, you'll have a difficult time achieving these financial goals on your own. But the sabotage can be a lot more subtle than that. If you have an opportunity to take on an outside consulting project, for instance, that will quickly generate several $1,000s to eliminate your last remaining debt, do family and friends urge you instead to take the day off and go shopping with them? Do your employees know your limits for specific costs yet continually overspend? Leonard, Leonard Lauder, Leonard Lauder, the former chief executive of the Estee Lauder Company, net worth $8.1 billion, once said, "You are only as successful as the people who work for you and want you to be." Wow. Don't get me wrong. You don't have to replace your circle, and you certainly don't have to replace your family, but you should be expanding your circle to include people who will amplify everything you do. What is your community helping you achieve? Oh, so rate yourself on if you know the dollar amount needed to meet your monthly budget and you have a community that helps you achieve that. Rate yourself on a 1 to 10. That was the last question. What was your score on the financial readiness assessment? If you scored above 5 on each of the questions, congratulations. You still have some work to do, but you're at a great starting place. Choose one financial challenge each month and conquer it. If debt is your challenge, create a plan to become debt-free using the many financial advice books available today. If tracking your budget is an issue for you, fire up your software, get current with the data entry, and make it a new habit to start running regular reports. Similarly, if you score below 5 or on any or all of the financial readiness assessment questions, you've got some work to do on your way to managing the abundance that's about to happen for you. Get advice from a small business consultant, personal financial planner, financial coach, or debt counselor so you can feel more confident and self assured, one of the true hallmarks of abundance. Um, and you can work with an Abundance Now coach. They have them on abundancenownonline.com. Once you've taken the assessment, it's time to start bringing in the cash. When I was in my 20s, I made a commitment to become free from financial worry. As a service coordinator on the Los Angeles Unified School District's Healthy Start Family Resource Center. Ooh, that's one hell of a title. I'm going to drink some water because my mouth is mad dry right now. And that was one hell of a title. I'm going to read it again. I hope y'all had a lovely week. Okay. As a service coordinator at the Los Angeles Unified School District's Healthy Start Family Resource Center, I made just enough money to pay the bills and set aside a small amount. Why not become the first investor in my dream? I thought. So I started with the only tools I had at the time, a paycheck and a basic checking account. For over 3 years, I wrote a check to myself and sent it deposit by mail to the bank, starting with a check for $110. Each time I wrote a check, I would increase the amount by 5%, and always in the memo line, I would write, "Finding my dream." Little by little, my bank account grew. Within a year, it was growing by even bigger numbers. And within 2 years, I got a second job so I could accelerate my savings by sending the entire amount of that paycheck to the bank, continuing to write the check to myself with the same message on the memo line, "Funding my dream." One day, 3.5 years later, I went to the bank to make a deposit in person. As the bank teller recognized my name, she called the rest of the operations staff over to meet me and congratulate me. They had been watching the checks come in one by one and wanted to meet the woman who was so committed to her own financial future that she sent regular checks to her own account and wrote in the memo, "Funding my dream." With great excitement and anticipation, the bank teller asked me the question everyone wanted to know. "Miss Nichols, what's the dream that you're funding?" I chuckled a bit and responded, I'm not completely sure yet, but I want to focus on inspiring people to reach new levels in their lives. I'm pretty sure that's going to cost me, so that's why I'm saving. Of course, what I didn't know at that time was how much I'd actually accumulated. For years, I'd simply mailed in the checks on a regular basis. So when I asked for my total balance and she when I asked for my total balance and she pushed the printout toward me, the number I saw was more than $62,000. I immediately confirmed my social security number on the account to make certain the balance actually belonged to me. Surely I thought this was somebody else's account. Up until that time, I hadn't known anyone in my family to have even $10,000 in the bank, let alone 62,000. But when the teller enthusiastically confirmed this was indeed my account, I began to cry. She began to cry. Then the others behind the teller line and even the manager got teary-eyed over the sheer joy of someone like me who little by little had funded her own dream. What's your dream? What's the dream that's so important to you that you would take every penny you have over your basic expenses and write yourself a check? For most people, struggling to survive doesn't leave a lot of extra cash. But if you knew with certainty that tens of thousands of dollars would be available to you to fund your future, would you get your financial house in order, bring in extra money, and begin to strategically find ways to make your money grow? The formula for getting rich isn't rocket science. And if I had a magic drink, I'd serve it to you. But the tried and true formula for amassing substantial wealth over time is simple and doable by everyone. Here it is. Write a budget that tells you every month where your money should be spent. Include savings, investments, and any amount as just another expense you pay along with your groceries, rent, and electric bill. Get out of debt. The second one is get out of debt. Pay off the smallest debt first, then apply that now available debt payment toward paying off larger debts. Keep going until you have zero debt, except except for your mortgage, and many people pay that off too. Get rid of excessive credit cards except one that you use for necessary online purchases or emergencies, or one business card if you own a small business. The third one, find an additional revenue stream specifically so you can put that money towards a saving, investing, or debt reduction purpose. If your additional revenue stream is a second job, take that job with the intent of staying and earning only as long as you need to get your finances in order. Invest your second paycheck 100% in your financial goal, as I did, or use it to pay off old debt. Don't beat yourself up. Don't play with the extra money. Get in, get out, and get your financial prosperity underway. Aside from a second job, you can also pursue limited time projects 4 or 5 times a year, provided they pay well and allow you to invest the proceeds. Start by identifying a skill set that you have and that other people need, where you can hire out periodically for a fee. If you're an administrative person and have good organizational skills, you can print a flyer and offer your services to local businesses 4 or 5 times a year. Doing one-time updates to their databases or organizing their filing systems or helping them get ready for a move. If you know how to use social media to promote a business, why not offer to manage the social media accounts of your local businesses for $200 to $300 a month? And if you're a good writer, why not offer to write press releases or brochures for local businesses, churches, or nonprofits? You would be surprised by all the small to medium businesses that are waiting on someone to come and assist them. They are just too busy to go find these people they need consultant help from. Janet Switzer wrote a book I love called Instant Income that walks small business owners through dozens of strategies that bring in cash quickly, plus the strategies that also work if you have a steady job but want to make money on the side. Janet has 13 criteria of what to look for in a short-term minimum commitment hassle-free project. Things like potential buyers can be easily identified and located through local clubs or business networking groups, for example. Advertising opportunities are inexpensive and accessible, such as flyers for at the local craft store if you do quilting, or business cards at the local pro shop if you're a golf instructor. Another one is deadlines and other market forces cause people to buy now, especially at tax time, Christmas time, back to school, and so on. Deadlines and other market forces cause people to buy now. Okay. Hey, Aiden. The next one is expenses. Expenses can be paid as you make sales or take deposits. If you ran an occasional catering business or a handyman service, for example, whatever additional revenue stream you decide to pursue, do it with a specific purpose in mind. Abundance doesn't include working 3 jobs, but you may have to do that to reach your goals. Do what you have to do, then start saving for your prosperous future. All right. So the fourth one, oh gosh, she has lots of subsections. The fourth one says, begin to strategically find ways for your money to multiply itself. There are 3 basic ways for money to multiply, and some don't require your oversight. The first is to simply open an investment account that uses mutual funds to invest your money in stocks and bonds, along with the money of thousands of other small investors. If you routinely send the investment firm checks to add to your account, you'll be surprised at how fast it grows. Second, you can develop a product or service of your own and start a business to sell it. Third, you can invest your money in other people's businesses after carefully investigating. Yes, this section is amazing. Third, you can invest your money in other people's businesses after carefully investigating the company, analyzing its history, and assessing its future. This is somewhat riskier unless you're familiar with the industry, the company, and its product and potential. Now that you have the strategies above to help you create financial abundance for yourself and your loved ones, it's time to activate the entire formula, weaving together your own self-development, those rocket booster relationships, a life assignment that inspires you, and exciting financial prosperity that, just like a Harvard endowment fund, makes possible everything that you want to do. It's time to activate abundance. Now. Dun, dun. Only, sorry, she put the ellipses in there. I didn't do it. Only when you take action and start living inside this abundant new mindset can you truly set your feet on the path to privileged circumstances and a breathtaking future. I'm so excited for you. So excited for you. But there's just one more step to go. In our final chapter together, I'll reveal how to begin creating a legacy of abundance, including your work, wisdom, wealth, and life experience that you can live now, but also pass on to others. We're done. We're in chapter 6, you guys. Wow, she had some really, really great stuff. And we're going to save chapter 6 for next week. And we'll be done with the book next week, y'all. We will be done with the book next week. Wow. And it's such a small section. Look. Like, look how tiny that is. That's nothing. That's nothing at all. We're going to be done with this book next week, y'all. Who? See, because of the fact that I'm not very well versed in money, I don't have a lot of additional commentary for that chapter because I was learning a lot. And as I shared earlier this week, I've had my own struggles with money and am still learning through ways like this. With things being excuse me, it being 5, 6, 7 years later since she's written this, there are obviously other ways to make additional income. If you have a vehicle, you can do Lyft, Uber, DoorDash, Instacart, those delivery services. That is one way that you can make money in addition to whatever your main source of income is. Another way that you can make money is by doing a subscription-based, working on a subscription-based website where you're putting out content for a subscription cost, whether that's Patreon or OnlyFans. And there are people that do OnlyFans that are not, because it was originally made for music. So there are people that do OnlyFans that are not doing, explicit stuff. And then there are people that are, and both are fine. If you're over 18, not for the kids. But that's another way for you to make money. And like she said, if you have services, if you have things that you're good at, I have a friend, she has a business where she helps write. Yes, I'm hyped for chapter 6 too. Yes, that entire chapter was a fantastic example of realistic ways to gain financial freedom. I definitely got some perspective. Beatrice shared that over here on Facebook. Yes, this whole section, like, because she went, not only did she go through, let's talk about let's talk about money. Let's talk about the relationship with money. Let's get into your feelings about it. Let's dig into your feelings about money and what you really feel about money based on how you've been taught to feel about money and based on the conditions of your life. And then it was like, all right, let's unpack. You want to unpack? And we unpacked it. And then she's like, okay, let's get to work then. Now we can do the work. And I appreciate the fact that she honored the fact that it is a painful relationship that a lot of people have with money. I'm so thankful that she honored that, because a lot of people, a lot of people don't honor that. Sorry, I'm playing with my hair so much, y'all. I washed it right before, so it's in the middle of drying, so it's changing on camera while I'm talking, because it's going from wet to dry, and it's getting its shape or whatever. So I'm getting it to do the shape thing. Um, but it she really got in there in a way that I truly, truly appreciate, and I don't think I've ever really experienced that. Now, granted, I haven't read a lot of books with that kind of information. I'm sure there are a lot more books about it that really get into the feelings part as well, but I just appreciate that she honored that, and she came from experience. She didn't come from, and she shared experiences. I want to be able I'm excited to be able to do what she did, which was paying herself by sending herself a check. It's probably a little bit harder to do something like that now because, because she did that back in like the early 90s. So she couldn't go online and check her account. If she wanted to check her account, she had to go to the bank or call. So, she was literally able to blindly do that. With the way that technology is now, it's hard to blindly do that. So do y'all have any questions? Y'all have any comments? Anything that you want to add to the conversation? I will sit here and drink coffee and let y'all throw some comments up there. Tell me how you feels about all of this. Mm-mm. Any additional commentary? Yeah, I'm excited to get into the next chapter. I'm a little tempted to start, but I like starting new chapters on Monday if I can help it. Um, but this is about to be really great. This is about to be really great. Ooh. The part-time job bit was interesting. Yes, it was. It was about like having a part-time job or getting a second job. Is that what you mean by that? And using that second job and all of that money going to paying off a debt or going into a savings account. Right. Ooh, that's a good point. Beatrice said, I don't think that's possible for everyone, but it makes me think about how we manage our time. Right, right. Because yeah, I would like to hear more if you have another comment. We spend a lot of time at jobs. If I was still working my last job, I would not in any capacity be able to have a second job unless I worked at like a coffee shop or I worked at like a bookstore or something one day a week. I would not be able to have a second job because I was working over 40 hours a week every single week and like Saturdays. I just jumped in and I heard you talk about PYF. I learned that in high school and always try to do it when I get paid. Yeah. Oh, pay yourself. Yeah. Because if we leave ourselves wide open to one job, then we can't pursue a second job to even work towards our future. Yes. Yes. Because the way that the jobs, because thinking about how they worked on your schedule and how whenever I worked in food and retail, the way they did scheduling, they would make it so that you prioritize that job, even if it's only a part time position. yes, it puts working in the perspective of being something that is for me and not that I'm doing it for them. Yeah. Yeah, it's to fund your life, not to I'm for lack of a better phrase, not to be the best employee for them. That's why like people that come in, they do the bare minimum and get their check. I'm just like, I wish I had it in me to work like that. I wish I had it in me to come in, do the bare minimum, get my check and leave. It is very hard for me to not go into I want to be the very best. Like it's really hard for me to not get into that mode because I very quickly get into that mode. Um but yeah, going to your second job when you have a second job, that's for you. And so there are lots of different side gigs. I knew someone that used to she used to be a secret shopper. She used to be a secret shopper, and that was a side gig for her in addition to her job. And it was like she would either get a free dinner or she'd get paid for it or both. Um, there are people, like I said, that do the delivery thing. There are people that do resume writing. They do and all the things that she listed in there. So just find a nice little thing that you're good at. Just find find a thing that you're good at. And I'm saying this to myself as well. Also, something that I have that I don't ever use, but it can make you money. It's hard for me because I don't have a vehicle and transfer. If I have to do anything that makes me leave the house, it's a pain in the ass. It just is. So, it's a pain in the butt for real, for real. So I typically I'm getting I'm getting hip to the side gig game. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting hip to it or whatever. But but oh, what was I saying? What was I saying? Get a notary. Get 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 commissioned as a notary, and you can charge people to notarize documents. It's $80 to go up there, take in Greensboro, in here. It's $80 to go up there, take the class, and I think you spend a total of maybe like $120. Get your listen, I have my stamp right here. My stamp is right here. Get your stuff and you can charge people $5 a signature. You can charge them $5 a signature, and you can notarize tons of different. Like you can notarize for like different people. You can notarize for people that are closing on homes. You can notarize for car titles. You can notarize, and if you get an e-notary, if you get an e-notary, uh, you could work for a mortgage company. My friend is a notary as well, and she said you could work for a mortgage company. You can make money sitting at home. So that's something. If y'all need something notarized and y'all willing to come over here and sit in the parking lot with me, hey, I'll notarize your stuff for you. Or meet me at one of the local shops or whatever. We could do that. But yeah, yeah, that is a thing. That's a thing. Well, y'all have any more questions or any more comments? Because if not, for the rest of the time, we are going until about, let's see, yeah. For the rest of the time, I am going to hop over here to Instagram. And earlier this week, young man hopped into an 11-year-old. He hopped into the IG Live and wanted to, his name is Aiden. He's from Texas and he's 11. And he wanted to read to me, which was really dope, really cool. And why wouldn't we invite someone to read on Reading with Miss Taylor Said? So if you're following me on Instagram, my Instagram or not, whether you are or not, hop on over to Instagram. It's Miss Taylor Said all together, no spaces, punctuations, or nothing like that. And gonna go listen to Aiden read. For everybody that's on Facebook, I will see you Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're going to get into our last chapter. And it's perfect because it'll be the last chapter. It'll be the last chapter, and it'll be the last week of January, right? Should be the last whole week of January. And then, guess what we can do? We can start on a Black History book for Black History Month. So exciting. So, I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go hop over here on Instagram and listen to Aiden read. Bye.